In today's video, we're going to discuss the biggest Yieldmax secret that everyone is missing out on when it comes to increasing their performance. Yieldmax helps us earn almost $600,000 per year in dividends, as you can see below, but we're also outperforming the markets with Yieldmax and some margin. We're up almost 4% for the year. The rest of the indexes are either flat or down for the year. Also today, we're up around 20,000 or 1.22%, which, as you can see above, beats the indexes. So when you factor back in my margin, we blew away the indexes today, and that's thanks to this little known secret that I think everyone is missing out on when it comes to Yieldmax funds. So we're living financially free out of our brokerage accounts using Yieldmax and some margin. If you need help doing the same, email me for my e-guides at akintodd48@gmail.com. My margin debt has now fallen to around $575,000. For those of you who don't know, I've negotiated my margin rates down twice, so please don't freak out when you see this margin debt number. Again, my dividends are going to pay back in around 1 year, but also my margin debt is around 5%, so it doesn't bother me having this margin debt on when the yields that I'm earning are paying me much more than the interest that I'm charged with my margin debt. If you ever need help negotiating your rates down, give me a call. My number is free when you buy my e-guides. All right, so the first name that I have for you all is the Russell, okay, IWM. This is a value play, okay? The Russell small caps are value plays because they've been down for years. They haven't done anything for years, and I've been pounding the table with small caps. Everyone knows who follows my channel that I've been betting big on small caps and the Russell, but IWM is still well off the highs compared to the S&P and NASDAQ, so I've been going heavy into IWM. My members and I have been buying RDTE hand over fist, and that's because RDT has low maintenance, okay? So we're able to leverage more RDTE and get increased performance in the process. YMAG is 50% maintenance, for example, okay? That's Yieldmax's Magnificent 7 ETF. But RDTE is 35% maintenance, all right? 35% maintenance. That's almost half the maintenance of YMAG. If you need help understanding maintenance, that's in my Volume 3 e-guide. Maintenance is the secret to everything that I do here because for every $1 you put in your account, you get $4 of purchasing power. I'm just using a fraction of that over 1 million in purchasing power to get ahead. A lot of people ask me, if you have over $1 million in your account, how come you don't have $4 million of purchasing power? Well, I've invested a lot of that money and I have over 500,000 in margin debt. So obviously that takes up my available withdrawal. And so when you have low maintenance names, that keeps your available withdrawal high, which keeps your purchasing power high. So you always want to keep 20% cushions with your available withdrawal so that you never have to worry about margin calls when you're in margin debt. And my dividends just pay back my margin leverage each month, so my margin leverage goes away. It's not really a risk. But should we have a crash overnight, okay, a 15-20% crash, we could withstand that crash overnight because we have a big cushion thanks to our low maintenance names. But should we have a correction of 30% or more overnight, then we always keep our put options on in case that event were to occur. Our put options would help us make more money than we lost in the event of a crash, because when the market crashes, your put options are going to be up thousands of percent. Okay, so the compounding power that you get with put options is enormous, and again, you can make millions of dollars in the event of a crash. I'm rooting for all directions in my account, okay, a crash, a sideways market, or an up market. If we have an up market, then we just make days gains like we got today. If we have a sideways market, then we just collect our dividends of around 500,000 per year. If we have a down market, then my dividends just pay back my margin, and that's how we outperform regardless of a down market. See what we did in 2022. And then if we have a crash, well, then our put options would make us, again, more money than we potentially lost in that event. If you need help hedging your portfolio like I do in the event of a crash with put options, that's in my Volume 5 e-guide. So always keep your available withdrawal high so that you have that cushion to avoid margin calls. I also have all of my bills automated out of my E-Trade account. So yes, I use a credit card to buy things, but then I get points on my credit card, and then my E-Trade just pays off my credit card bills. All the rest of my bills are automated out of my E-Trade account. I also have an E-Trade checking card that I can swipe and go wherever I want with. I can buy cars, clothes, shoes, whatever I want with my margin debt, and then that margin debt just rises that month, and then my dividends pay back at the end of the month. But again, the key to living out of your account using margin and your debt and your dividends is keeping high available withdrawal, and that all boils down to having low maintenance names. Once again, if you need help understanding maintenance, that's in my Volume 3 e-guide. So RDTE, that's how we're outperforming today. It was up huge today, all right? And small caps are cheap, and IWM was up about 2%. So if you can get RDTE, which is up about, as you can see here, about 1.68, that's close to the Russell 2000, and you're getting like a 40% dividend or whatever it is with Roundhill, okay? Roundhill has huge dividends, right? IWMY was also up big for us today. IWMY beat the Russell today, so that was very interesting. One of my members, Wayne, was mentioning this to me in a text. He was saying, hey, IWMY actually outperformed the Russell 2000 on a daily basis. So we're getting huge dividends with IWMY, and we're getting daily performance. And the best part about these funds, IWMY and Defiance funds, is that they fall less on down days. So that's how we outperformed to start the year, okay? We started the year down in the market, okay? The market was very choppy, but we were outperforming to start the year thanks to these funds that are moving up more than the market on an up day because they're value plays, and they move down less on down days. Okay, the second reason why we're up today, of course, was because of Cornerstone. It was up 1.85%, and as you can see above, that blows away the indexes. And Cornerstone has a 20% dividend, and it's a 4-star fund, and it drips that 21% dividend down at the NAV for 29% gains every month on top of the 20% dividend. So that's why Cornerstone is so powerful. And also you have CRF, which is more of the growth play, and then you have CLM, which is more of the value play. And again, those were up big today because I think value plays are cheap, okay? The rest of the indexes are expensive, but look at Cornerstone on a 1-year chart. It's cheap compared to where it was. Last year in 2024, it was blowing away the indexes with that dividend, with the special drip at NAV. So we're getting those extra 30% gains every month on top of the dividend, on top of the day's gains that you're seeing here. So you win with Cornerstone in 3 ways, and Cornerstone is tax-free. And this year it started out here on the 100-day moving average. So I've been buying more Cornerstone. As my members know, I've been lightening up on my box shorts for Cornerstone. I also box Cornerstone, short it, lower my maintenance to 5%. If you need help boxing Cornerstone and hedging your portfolio with a total return fund like Cornerstone, that's also in my Volume 5 e-guide. Cornerstone and many other closed-end funds had a pullback last year, and this year it was cheap, so I consider Cornerstone another value play, and you get all those benefits that I just mentioned with Cornerstone. Just play Cornerstone properly around its rights offerings, because here on a 10-year chart at E-Trade, you can see it moves sideways, okay? But on a Morningstar chart, you can see that it moves upward, left to right. That's because you have to factor back in dividends, drips, and rights offerings for Cornerstone. So I don't want to hear any complaints about Cornerstone and why it's down on a 10-year chart at E-Trade. It's because you have to factor back in drips and rights offerings. If you need help playing Cornerstone properly, that's in my Volume 4 e-guide. And when you buy my e-guide, you get free access to Discord for life, where we alert you of the Cornerstone rights offering announcement. So you never have to worry about missing a Cornerstone rights offering announcement, all right? Cornerstone is one of my favorite channels here in the Discord chat room, but we have other channels here for your enjoyment. We have a Yieldmax channel, a Roundhill channel, Bitcoin, you name it, okay? We have a brokerage specifics channel, which tells you which broker has the special NAV drip for Cornerstone, because not every broker has that NAV drip for Cornerstone. And we have a channel that tells you who has the best maintenance, okay? Because you always want to find the lowest maintenance names so that you can leverage it more and not worry about a margin call, okay? So you want more income off those low maintenance names, and that way, again, you also avoid a margin call, and you can withdraw out of your account in the process, okay? You can swipe your card, your E-Trade checking card, and do whatever you want with it, okay? Just keep that available, withdrawal high. And Discord will tell you which brokers have the lowest maintenance. I think our Discord chat room is one of the best in the world now. We have over 1,500 members in it pursuing the FIRE lifestyle. So if you ever have any questions that I can't answer about your portfolio, someone in there most likely can. All right, so the biggest secret that everyone's missing out on with Yieldmax funds is that they're not balancing them with value plays like these, like the Russell, like Cornerstone, and then also, last but not least, I'll give you one more idea here. It's the Dow Jones itself, okay? So the Dow Jones was up almost as much as us today. When you factor back in margin, we were actually beating the Dow Jones, but many names in the Dow Jones are cheap, okay? We're taking a lot of profits in the Dow, okay? We're taking Caterpillar today. We sold that for a 9% gain. All right, United Healthcare is super cheap. So healthcare was on a tear today, and that's how we also outperformed. So go look at some charts of some healthcare companies or consumer cyclical, real estate, materials, energy, utilities. These are all cheap, and so these are all value components of the market. These are the other 5 out of the 10 sectors that are so important to investing, okay? There's 10 key sectors in the S&P, and I think 7 out of the 10 sectors in the S&P are cheap, and those are now value plays. And I've taken a few $100,000 of my margin debt, and I've put it into some of these value plays. Again, if you ever want to follow my portfolio, just head over to the membership section and YouTube, and you can follow it anytime for $9.99 a month, okay? I think that's nothing to ask for to follow this kind of portfolio. The dividends and gains that we make in this far outpace what you pay monthly for a YouTube membership. Okay, last but not least, I also outperformed today thanks to Bitcoin sold options. As you can see here, my sold options BitX were up 700 today. Bitcoin was down today, so we outperformed today, and Bitcoin wasn't even up. Misty is one of my largest positions, and again, it wasn't even up today, but our BitX puts were, because we sold BitX puts, got $50,000 just for clicking our mouse with BitX. That lowered our margin by $50,000, and it lowered our risk substantially, because if you take the $70 strike price and minus it by 50, our premium, our cost basis is around $20. So I also sell puts on Yieldmax. I sell puts on anything that I can to lower my margin, lower my risk, and lower my volatility. If you need help selling put options like I do to generate extra income, lower your risk, and lower your margin, that's in my Volume 6 e-guide. All right, so we're outperforming all of the indexes using margin, Yieldmax, Cornerstone, Defiance, Roundhill, many of which are value plays that everyone is missing out on when they're trying to outperform with Yieldmax. We're up, again, 4% for the year, whereas the rest of the indexes are flat to down. Just remember, when you buy my e-guides, Discord access is free for life, and my phone number is free for life, so call me anytime you have a question. No one believes that I actually answer my phone for all of my members, but I do. You can ask any of my members. I'm here for them at any time. Okay, just text me first for a heads up, and I'll give you a call after that. All right, if you like the video, please click like or subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon, everyone. Thanks.